Somebody a long time ago told me something about boat building, and it applies tonight. If it doesn't feel like it's going fast enough, slow down. Hi everybody, welcome back to Jenkins Boat Works. I am Chuck Jenkins. In this video, we continue working on our Yukon racing kayak. Our last video was part one of making the coaming, and we concentrated on getting the riser pieces cut out and fitted and glued up, and that looks real good. And so this picks up where that left off, and we will show how we managed to get the lip, which is the top piece of the coaming, get this together, get it fiberglassed, and just real happy with how it's coming out. This will really kind of be a feature piece of the entire kayak. So real happy with it and happy to show you how we're getting it put together. It's just about to go on. We got to clean it up, sand it a little bit, and then we're going to put it on top of the riser. And so we'll probably see some of that in a later video, but for the moment, we're just going to concentrate on how we got the rest of this built and put together. If you happen to be new to the channel, welcome. We're glad you're here. Glad you found us. And so this project has a playlist. If you want to catch up, we'll link that in the description. And at the end of the video, there will be a link. If you just want to dig around the channel, this is one of many projects that we have full documentation on. So dig around in there, see what else you might like. And if you do like it, consider subscribing. That helps us. So anyway, let's jump in. I'll show you how we're getting the rest of this coaming put together. Okay, so I just brought this riser over here. We had form fitted this to this angle of this, several days ago. And you need to be careful here. That fiberglass can be kind of sharp. But anyway, so that just fits right on there. Yeah. Okay, now the next thing is, will these just lay right in here and bend down on this? I'm doing a double thickness. Yeah, I believe that's gonna work. Okay. So I'm just kind of playing with the whole thing. Oh, made a couple little marks. There's that one. Some of it got sanded off of there. But that one's right, I can see, you can't see it, it's right there. There's another one right here. Okay, that's very encouraging. Well, it's going to take some doing when we go to put the whole thing all together. But the first thing clearly is, let's glue these two pieces together. Okay, so I just thickened up some of this epoxy, and I'm just going to smear this all around on here. I'm not going to get too crazy. I don't want a ton of squeeze out. Toby, you rotten egg, give me my hat. Jeep Super Bowl hat. Crazy dog. Okay. This really at the moment is just about getting the right shape glued down on it. I don't really care about the placement at the moment. These are symmetrical. They were cut out and sanded the same together with each other the entire time that I was making them. And I do have those little reference marks on there that I can see. So this is just about getting this bend in it at the moment. I want this lip to be about an inch wide, and I cut it bigger than that to start out with. Like about 1.25 inches, a little better. I want to try to keep these inside clamps on top of the riser, not outside it, because I don't want to bend it down. Sometimes you got to go, we're good. This coaming lip's been glued up for right at 24 hours. I checked it this morning, and the epoxy that had squeezed out a little bit felt hard already then, so it's had another good 12 hours since then. We're going to take all these clamps off. I expect that it will hold that shape and that curvature. So really it's got some nice shape to it. And indeed, we did glue it into shape. And there's a little bit of squeeze out in some places, but not too bad. And it's holding its shape right there just like we want it to, which I didn't really think about it, but it was an advantage of having 2 layers there that glued itself to itself and holding the shape of the coaming. We'll take that wax paper out of there and we can really get a good look at it. There is the coaming riser, which we had previously done, and it has all been fiberglassed and epoxied. It looks really good. And now here's the lip, and we can just put this right on here. Once we get it cleaned up, well, we're going to fiberglass it now, but once we get it cleaned up, then it sits right on that riser and gives us our coaming. All right, so we're going to put some fiberglass on this coaming. And I've got some pieces cut out. Well, the first thing I did was sand this down pretty good. Got the excess epoxy that squeezed out of here from gluing these 2 pieces together. Got rid of that, and then so we're sanded down nicely. We're going to be able to get a really good idea what this color is going to look like just even with putting a little epoxy on here before we put the cloth on. So I'm just gonna put a real light coat on here. Now, I'm not going to try to wrap this epoxy around the curve of this and do both sides. We're just going to do the top tonight. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Look at that. Yeah, that's nice. Very pretty, very pretty. Okay, let's see if we can put our pieces on here. Putting this first little bit of epoxy on here will kind of help hold these on here so they aren't dancing all over the place when I'm trying to wet them out. Fantastic. Okay. Over. I wonder if I want to make a line, a pencil mark underneath here and try to trim off some of this with a saw. Might do that. I think I am going to do that. Let's clamp it down, then I'll take my pencil and draw a line in there. I'm just going to go around and take sightings and look at it from different angles and just make sure that it's where I want it. Looks real good. Okay, so I'm just going to draw on here, right against that riser. Okay, yeah, that's it. Some places where it's just almost flush, like right in those spots, I'm making more reference lines because some of this that I already did is going to get cut off. I believe those two right there will probably get me, because those are just almost flush. That's good. Okay, this is slightly scary. If I screw this up, I'm making a whole new lip. Talking about. See how much there is there that we're going to have to take off. I mean, that's quite a bit. And the jigsaw to part of this, and I'm just staying outside this line. There's really about only one more place up here I feel like I might be able to do a little bit more, and it's just right here, but I'm just going to be really cool coming around that corner there. Don't goof it up. Just too scared to do too much more with the saw. I think the rest of this we're going to use the rasp and the sander. We gained a lot of ground. That's that much. I don't have to try to take off with the rasp once it's glued up. I wonder how I ever lived without this thing. I haven't had this very long. I love it. It's a Shinto. It's a Japanese rasp. This is fantastic. I might buy another one. All right, let's go glue it up. This feels like a big moment. We're gonna glue the coaming lip on. Making those reference lines sure helped. And I could just get it right on there. And what I cut off, it's really good. Yeah. Okay. Let's glue it. I'm only gonna put glue on the riser because this thing's so wide that I don't want to get it all over the place. And I've got my epoxy here. I'm using West System with some Total Boat silica and some sawdust to color it up. And so it's really thick. So this should be a really good glue. Now it's going to take a little while to set up, but it's going to make it really strong too. We're probably going to have to monkey with getting the clamps on here. It's going to want to slide around a little bit, I imagine. Now, I don't want a ton squeezing out of here, but I want to make sure that we got enough to glue it down good. So I wanted this riser to be at least 1/4 inch wide. It's 3/4 inches tall, but I wanted it to be at least 1/4 inch wide. Now, we started off with it being about 7/16. And I know in a previous video I kept saying all different kinds of measurements for it, but the ultimate goal was to get to where we were 1/4 inch wide. I believe we're probably still a little closer to 3/8. And that's fine. It is super strong. I gotta go get a paper towel and clean that off the floor. Okay, here goes nothing. Sit right down on those reference marks. I keep talking about these reference marks right there. Oh, can you see that? It's right on there. And there's another one right there. I had another mark here and it wound up being off. But I'm going to trust these two right there. They say you can never have enough clamps, but today I do. All right. You know, we don't have a ton of squeeze out in there. That's good. Okay, this has been sitting here for, I guess, almost 3 days, so this is definitely epoxy's cured. It should be glued down tight. So, see what it looks like. I really don't see any gaps anywhere. And we really didn't have a ton of squeeze out. There's a little bit, which is actually a good thing, but there's not a lot. So that's going to make that pretty easy to clean up. Now, I'm not done with this cockpit coaming. This really is a focal point of the entire boat, and I want it pretty much perfect. There's a couple of places in here, like right there, where it's just not perfectly smooth. But we got pretty much all the coaming lip now fared in with the riser. So we got that sanded down pretty good. I think I'm going to take some thickened epoxy and fill in some of these little spaces before I try to lay fiberglass cloth in here, because there's a little spot right there. I actually need to probably sand that off on the bottom. But we're going to go ahead and put the video out because the general idea behind the construction of the whole thing is complete. And so you really get the idea. And really the only thing I got to do at this point is get some fiberglass cloth on it. We'll come up on the riser on the inside and then come up, and I'm rounding this off here. So we'll come up over this and over the top of the lip. And then once we do that, we'll sand that back down and then we can varnish it. So, all right. Well, I am super happy with it. If you like the video, remember to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.